Hey guys, Telrain or Iron Wolf here, what do you know me as? I wanted to make another Hyrule Conquest video regarding the Kingdom of Labrynna, or the Labrynna regime, for those of you that remember from Hyrule Total War. This civilization is one of my favorite civilizations, actually. I really love their lore, I really love their aesthetic. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to play them too much over the last couple of years because when they came out in this game, they were really broken, so me and the others in the community kind of agreed to ban them, just kind of taboo playing them. And now, not many people play them, and I haven't played them too much until the last few days. Because I didn't think they were particularly strong. They nerfed a lot of their gunpowder units and a lot of things that made them really good. However, I have found some units and some playstyles with this civilization that makes them a lot better now. It's a bit different from what they used to be like, but it's pretty fun, so I'm enjoying them a lot. Something to know is that this civ is planned for getting a civilization rework in the near future within the coming months. I know Nephilim has talked a lot in his Discord about reworking this civilization. So everything I'm saying in this video is for patch 0.14. Again, yeah, I'm recording this in February 2023. So within the next few months, the things I'm saying might not be applicable at all. So we'll see how that goes. But he actually plans on shifting Labrynna less from a gunpowder focus and more towards a creature focus, which I think is funny because the way they are right now, they actually function a lot like a creature civilization more so than a gunpowder civilization. Before, back in the day, they were definitely 100% like you make gunpowder units with this civ, they're a gunpowder faction. But nowadays, I would call them probably a creature civilization, one of the stronger ones, one of the more creature focused ones actually. Because some of the other strong creatures factions such as Hyrule, they have more effective strategies like spamming conscripts and things like that rather than going full into creatures. But Labrynna, so far from what I've tested, one of their best and most effective strategies is going full into creatures. So yeah, I think that's really cool. So let's get right into it here. Alright, so I'll talk a little bit about their heroes here. Oopsies, let me pause this. So I go for Edgar, Varen, General Onyx. This is kind of my build that I go for with them. They have really good synergy. Edgar and Varen help in the defense department, him giving armor buffs, her giving magic buffs, or defensive magic buffs. And then Onyx buffs your creatures, as well as Onyx and Varen being just very solid units themselves. Vire's okay because you can get him at the start of the game for free. And he's okay. He flies around and shoots fire. He's alright. Queen Ambi, if you want to go for a gunpowder build, play Queen Ambi. She's still good in that regard. As a unit, she kind of sucks, but her buffs or gunpowder are still pretty good. And her unique unit's pretty good as well. It's just like a slightly better version of the cannon. So, Rafonso, this guy would be insane if the text that he has actually worked. This one right here, lands of supremacy, Leonard Pike deal splash damage. This doesn't work. If it did, I would play this guy every single time and just spam pikemen. But unfortunately, that does not work. So, not as effective as one might think. Let's see here. So Edgar gives some armor buffs, which is really great. The Campador is a very strong, unique unit. So yeah, Varen increases the magic armor of pretty much all units, which is really good. And then Onyx, he reduces the training time of creatures. And is just a really good unit himself. So, he increases the HP of creature units as well. So he just has a lot of synergy with this sort of creature build that I like to go for. And like I said, he's just a really solid unit. Here, I'll show you why. Let me type in a cheat code here. Let's get all the heroes here. We'll get the Titan as well. Screw it. Okay, so Varen, good bit of health, decent armor. She does shadow damage as well as circular splash shadow damage, which is always really good for a hero. She functions a lot like Solkaris. She's actually quite quick on the ground to move around with, but she's quite a strong unit. Definitely recommend building her. Edgar, he's okay. His damage is alright. He does true damage, which is okay, but it's single target. His armor's alright. He has okay health. He's kind of meh. I would definitely build these other two heroes before I build him, though. Onyx, this unit's pretty good. Has some of the most health of any hero unit in the game, which is actually a lot. He has a lot, like 34.500 HP. Like, that's a lot of health. His armor is really good. His crush is kind of low, but his hack and pierce armor is really, really high. And he does a little bit of crush damage, but mostly siege damage with his main attack. And then he does crush and true damage, actually, in a circular AoE when he attacks. And he does knockback as well. So this unit is pretty difficult to kill for most melee units because of his AoE knockback. You pretty much have to kite this guy with ranged units if you want to kill him because he is so slow. I mean, look at this move speed. Like, he is just abysmally slow. So he's a pretty good unit for pressuring the map and attacking buildings and that sort of thing, but if he has to fight ranged units, he's probably going to just get kited down. So I'll make a few production buildings here and show you guys some of the units. This soundtrack is really intense for what I'm doing here. Something to note is that on their towers and on their walls, they can upgrade their towers to a guard post, which gives them crossbows on their wall. And they have one called a gunner post, which gives them conquerors on their walls, which are their musketeer, which is quite good. They can also upgrade to get cannons on these walls, but oh yeah, there it is. So they can have some pretty defensible bases actually once you can get all these upgraded. Like quite a hard base to push right here. Like if someone's got like all these cannons set up and they've got all these towers upgraded, like it is hard to attack this base. So they can actually be quite turly because of that. So yeah. So let's move these outside. Oh yeah, let me talk about this unit. This is their starting unit, the Home Guard. This unit's okay. It's very cheap, very cost effective. In the first age, very, very early, it's good because it does crush and true damage, which is quite good. It's like a worse version of the Kingdom Maceman with Hyrule. Bad HP, bad armor, decent move speed, but the damage is pretty solid for the age you get it in. And like I said, it's very cheap. So, unlike Hyrule, though, you cannot upgrade these units from, you know, how Hyrule, they have like the three tiers for their infantry. These units don't really get much besides the armory upgrades, so they're kind of basic and bare bones. But in the second age, or the first age, sorry, they're quite good. So this is the Pathfinder. It's their scout. Nothing to note of this. It's just fast. It runs around. It's okay. Okay, so let's get some of these units. Alright, Border Guard, this is a crossbow. True damage, which is nice, and pierce. Very slow attack speed, though, because it is a crossbow. The range is alright. This unit's okay defensively because it has camouflage if it stands still, which is quite good, if you ask me. Very cheap, very cost-effective. Like I said, true damage is always nice. They miss a lot of shots, and they're very squishy, but if you need ranged units, it gets the job done. Excuse me. Let a pike. Alright, so this unit is actually really good. It would be, for what you pay for, it's very cost effective. If this unit had the splash damage from Alfonso, it'd be nuts, but it does not, unfortunately. 110 HP, decent armor, 8.8 pierce, 8.8 true damage, which is pretty good in age 3, if you ask me. Sorry, age 2. I use these guys a lot as like a front line if I have, if like all my circuses are producing units already, and you know I have a barracks up that's idle and it's not making anything. I will definitely try to make a few of these guys to just mix into the fray. Because they're pikemen, they have a very high modifier against cavalry, so they do extra damage against cavalry, which is quite good if you ask me. So Talus Knight, this is like the Knight of Hyrule. Nothing really stands out about it. It's just a heavy infantry unit with decently solid armor, decent HP, but like no damage. I mean, let's look at the damage. 11 hack, 16.5 pierce. It's okay. There's much better units. It's not a bad unit. It's kind of a redundant unit. You know what I mean? Which is unfortunate. Campador. Alright, this is Edgar's unique unit. This is one of the reasons I like to take Edgar, especially if you were in a Labrynna matchup and you knew they were going for creatures. These guys are quite good because they function like normal pikemen, except you know how normal pikemen will have a damage modifier against cavalry. These guys have a damage modifier against creatures, which is quite good if someone is, you know, playing Labrynna against you and they're spamming, you know, some of these units into your army. They can be quite good. Okay, let's talk about these units, I guess. So cannon, very straightforward, just crush and siege, has a small AoE of crush damage. It's a cannon. It's pretty straightforward. Why are there so many Kingdom soldiers? Or, I'm sorry, what are they called? Conquerors here. I don't know. I don't know why I built so many, but anyway. Alright, I'll talk about the gunpowder units. I spoke about the cannon a little bit already. The Conqueror is basically their musketeer. When this civilization came out, this unit was OP as hell. It was broken. It needed to be nerfed so badly. So they finally nerfed it. But it's still pretty good. It's the biggest. I mean, it does high damage, 30 pierce, 30 true, which is quite good. The biggest weakness of this unit is the melee and the siege. When you get in melee, these things they're kind of screwed. And then yeah, I mean. Oh, also their attack speed, yeah, it's really slow. Interval of 8 seconds, not ideal. When these things shoot, they do a lot of damage, but the problem is that their time between shots is so long that you're better off making some other ranged units a lot of the time. Also, it's an age 3 unit, so it's kind of hard to get too early. But it's okay. I mean, that doesn't mean never make them. They're good to like sprinkle in and pepper into your army, but yeah. Let's see here. Oh yeah, hand cannoneer. I don't know why this is blanking, but it does 150 crush, 150 siege, 25 or 75 crush splash AoE. Still a very good unit. This unit was insane. It got super hard nerfed into age 3, and it doesn't deal fire damage anymore. But this unit is really good for sieging down buildings from a far distance. It has very long range, up to 100 meters, which is very long compared to most artillery in my experience. So they're really good at sieging down, you know, walls or houses or farms, that sort of thing. Excuse me, they're very good at that. Think of it like a mortar almost. So that is that unit. Let's talk about these creatures because they are awesome and they are pretty hot right now. Alright, so the Blue Caballero, this is basically a cavalry unit that you ride around on a bear. It's very strong early. If you get these in H2, you can pretty much shut down... I'm sorry, not H2, H1. If you get these in H1, you can pretty much shut down any like skirmisher match pretty easily. Let's see. Sorry, I was looking at something. Aquadongo, this unit's pretty good. Oh, Blue Caballero, let me finish talking about this. It does hack, pierce, and true damage, which is really good. Has good armor and lots of HP. Attacks pretty fast and has a pretty high move speed. This unit does kind of fall off later, though, and I think it gets replaced by the Plano Boxer, because this unit is just so much more cost-effective. But, yeah. That's all about those units. So, like I said, they're quite good for age 1 to harass the enemy, run around, helping your explorer, or or your hero units, sorry, take down, or not even just your hero units, just like any of your starting units, take down anything that they struggle with in the first stage, which is really crucial. You know, asserting pressure on the map early on is very, very, very important. So, okay, Aquadango, this unit, 920 HP, which is a lot. However, it only comes in a battalion of 1, but it does have very high armor, very high crush, pierce, and hack armor, which is really good. It does a lot of true damage, 27.5, but it also does hack and pierce splash damage in a circle. Mixing these guys in with your mass later in the game is quite good. When they're not getting focused by like archers and they're just kind of in the fray mixed in with everybody else, this is a very, very good unit. Very tanky, lots of AoE, it's great. Alright, the last 2 units I will talk about are the Blano Boxer and the Ursa Wagon. Excuse me. So the Blano Boxer, as you transition into H2 from H1, you will swap from Blue Caballeros more towards Blano Boxers, in my opinion. This unit is just so cost effective. What you pay for what you get with this unit is just so good. They're fast. They're basically like cavalry, so they can run down archers and things that try to kite them. They have good HP, 156. They have pretty good armor. Well, their armor's not that great, but if you get Varen, you get the magic armor, which can help them a lot because magic will really shred these guys. But they do 11 crush damage, which doesn't seem like that much, but they have an attack speed of 1. So they're attacking very, 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 very fast with lots of crush damage. So honestly, most of my army that I'm looking for, I want majority of my bulk to be Blano Boxers. Maybe I'll have, you know, some Aquadongos or some Blue Caballeros mixed in there, but for the most part, Blano Boxers are just the way to go once you hit H2. They are fantastic. So this unit right here, the Ursa Wagon, remember how I mentioned earlier about the Conqueror being kind of meh because of its attack speed and that sort of thing? Well, the Ursa Wagon kind of remedies that in a lot of ways because it comes with 3 Conquerors inside of it, and this is one of the best units for kiting in the game because it's one of the very few units in the game that can move around and still be attacking. So while it's moving like this, if there were enemy units like right here, the Conquerors would just shoot at them while this thing's moving around, which is really, really good. It makes up for the very, very slow attack speed by giving them some mobility and protection. So this unit is actually quite good. I wouldn't make too many of them, but I would make a good bit. However, it does have extremely low crush damage, so if you've got someone's catapults focusing this thing or some unit that does a lot of crush damage, be careful sending this guy in because they may be able to punish that really hard because this is a very expensive unit. Very, very, very expensive unit. So be cautious when making this and use it smartly. Make sure you kite it so that the Conquerors inside get maximum value because you're going to want to get max value out of these guys. I think that's everything. Oh, I mean, I guess I could talk about their Titan a bit. Maku trees, just kind of like the regular deck of trees, a bit slow, does AoE. He does crush and siege, lots of crush AoE. He's alright, he's a Titan. I mean, Titan, it's hard to be bad and be a Titan. So he's solid. I would definitely say he's pretty solid. So, alright, so that's all for today's video. I just want to give a brief overview of the civilization, kind of go over the units and share some of my thoughts on that. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know in Discord or in the comments. Just feel free to ask, and y'all have a good one.